Today is the first day without it raining, but this is a little bit of a different start than usual to our videos. Don't worry, it is a video about not me sitting here talking to you guys. But I'm sitting here editing the video that you're currently watching, and I realized that my microphone didn't record a lot of the sound on certain parts of it where I was talking to you, so I figured I would go ahead and put this insert in so I can kind of give you an idea of what was going on that day, because without the sound, nothing makes sense. This video actually is a multi-day part video, if that makes sense. It's basically the beginning of Elijah and I's workday. We didn't record a lot of it. We recorded a small portion, so that's just me. That's just me going through and updating you on what we did off camera, and so I'll go ahead and voice over that when that comes up. And then it rolls into another day where Elijah and I had gotten notification that we were going to have a storm coming through, and so as I'm filming this right now, there's another storm coming through, so it's been cloudy all day, and it's going to be cloudy. It's going to be cloudy and cold for like a week. I think we're going to get down into the 20s for temperature, I believe. So but back on topic. So so that morning we had been working on the fence, so we had tools out, we had wood out, we had a whole bunch of stuff out. Elijah had ran that morning to go get water, and so he didn't have time to transfer it because he had to leave for work, and so he left me to transfer it, which, you know, you just plug it in and it does its own thing. But I had a specific deadline that I had to meet. So I had to make sure that I got everything done before they woke up. And I also had to beat the rain, because the rain was going to be coming in at like 9 something-ish that morning. And so, like, there was just so much stuff to do. Like, I had to get the wood covered, I had to get the water transferred, I had to also get the generator covered, because anytime that it's raining and it's super cloudy, we rely on the generator because the solar is not going to bring anything in. We'll run the generator during the day and then run off of the batteries at nighttime. So I had to get the generator into its position and get it covered. I also had to get the water transferred and get the water tote off. And then that previous day, we had gone through Terry to get rid of a bunch of stuff out of Terry, and we had some stuff in a little section inside the play area of things that needed to go over to the shipping container, and so that was stuff that could not get wet. So it was just a chaotic, well, it was just a morning where there was a lot of stuff that I had to get done before it started raining. So that's just basically a little fill-in of what that morning looked like for me, because a lot of stuff had to get done in a small amount of time, and then to find out that my mic wasn't working when I was editing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, none of this makes sense. So I contemplated just scrapping the entire video and just like, forget it. But then I was like, I can just put like a quick little insert in here and then everything will be good. So I will let you guys get back to the video. I hope that you enjoy it. Don't forget to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, we appreciate you guys for watching. Okay, so previously when you saw us working on the fence in a previous video, I was prepping the 4x4 posts. So these are the last 6 posts that are on the prep schedule, and these are the 6 that I did I think this was the first coat of the tar on them. The ones on the trailer only had the motor oil on them, but I'm pretty sure that this was just the first coat. So they're completely coated. I'm just waiting for those to dry, and then they will be good for their second coat, where they can go in the ground. So this board on the ground is our new spacer board that we're using so that we can get our auger hole spacing correctly. This board used to be our spacer board, but it needed to be retired. We created this last year, and we just used whatever we had and tried to nail it and screw it together to make it work. And we didn't have one full piece, so we had to merge 2 pieces together to get the correct length that we wanted. But pretty much with the new spacer board, we're just going to be laying that on the ground and then spray painting the line marks so that we know where our holes are going to go. And then once we get done with that, we're going to attach 2 boards on the end so that it can sit on top of our 4x4 post. I'm not sure. I think you guys might have seen us use it like this before. I can't remember if we put that in a video or not, but so pretty much we went ahead and we ran a string line from the front to the back of the property so we can make sure that everything would line up when we start auging. And then we're using the 2x4 that you see on the ground as our spacer. So it just sits between those pink lines that you see, and that represents our 4x4 that's going in the ground. And so we went ahead and did that with our spacer board all the way to the back of the property, and so that gave us exactly where we need to start our auger hole at. And so as you can see over here, this is the last hole I had started to aug, but I ended up running out of gas in the auger, so that was my stopping point, which it's fine. But basically, as you continue along the property line, this is what it will end up looking like. Since Elijah knew that we were going to be auging and we were currently out of auger fuel, he went ahead and picked this up. It's a fuel and oil mix. The previous one that we had, you had to mix it yourself, and I'm pretty sure we mixed it wrong because the auger was smoking. So this is pretty much, I guess, what we're going to be using from now on. Since it's already pre-mixed, it's just ready to go. Okay, so we were able to get the rest of the holes for this side of the property line semi-auged out. And so pretty much that just means that they are maybe like 4 inches below ground level as far as down as we went. This basically is going to make it easier for us when we have to actually come and drop the post in, because we don't have to do any remeasuring. We don't have to guess where anything's going or where it was supposed to be. And we don't have to worry about the rain washing away the pink spray or the sun fading it. It just makes it a lot easier, so that it just saves us a step later. So next time, all we have to do is just come through and we're ready to put the post in and just finish auging the hole. As you can tell, we have a 7th post in the ground. So Elijah went ahead and he made this little contraption. So this is the wood that we're using for our spacing, and then he just screwed in some 2x4s on the end so that it would sit on here, and then it allowed us to get our spacing for where our post needs to go, so that we can at least get within a few inches of the same spacing for everything. And so pretty much I'm going to go ahead and stain this. This is only half tamped in. He did the same thing like what he did with the play area, but it's pretty solid in there. I'm not going to wiggle it too much because it's not fully good. But this one is fully leveled out and everything. Elijah yesterday went and stained the top of these, so we wouldn't have to worry about reaching up there to stain them. They are going to take a top cap, but I'm going to go ahead and get some stain out really quick so I can stain this. And then Elijah's working on the next hole. We did aug out 5 more holes, because we have 12 total of the 4x4s. 6 of them are 100% ready to go on the ground. The other 5 of them have the first coat of the tar on them. 1 of them doesn't, because we're using that as our sample, so we don't have to lug these in and out of the ground and scratch them up on the bottom. And so our goal is to just focus on the 6 over this next week and a half, 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes. But we did go through and aug out the remaining 5 holes. They're not auged out fully to the depth because we hit some rocks on some of them, but they're pretty much relatively very close, like within like this much of each other. So yeah, so we are making some progress. It feels weird that we now have a 7th post in the ground, but we have enough, like I said, to get halfway to the property line, and then we'll need another 18 or 19, and then this whole side will be done. But I feel like we've gotten into a pretty good rhythm as far as getting this all done. So the auger, what I do have to say, is tearing us up on the side. I auged some holes, Elijah auged some holes, and we forgot how tough the side of the property line is, it's crazy. Yeah, it goes up, but we also, yeah, it's too high still. Okay, so this is me explaining that Elijah and I are pretty much just done with working on the fence for today. Pretty much just auging and doing all this. Tamping takes a lot of work, auging takes a lot out of us, so we figured that this will be a great stopping point for us. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the next day. Okay, so this is the morning that I told you about in the beginning of the video where I'm trying to beat the rain. And so I just got done transferring the water that Elijah went and got. So now I'm just getting all the hoses back into their correct spots. And so this is our tank that we use to haul water with. So I just need to go ahead and get the hose out. Eventually I do want to get a adapter that goes on the front of this one. We have one for the other tote, but it will be easier for us to transfer the water if we can just connect straight to the front of the tote. And then a hack that I ended up finding out is that if you were to take a carabiner like this and just attach it to your hose, usually the IBC totes have little notches up at the top like this, and you can attach your carabiner to that notch, and then it keeps your hose positioned in the tote so that you don't have to worry about it floating to the top or moving around to where there's no water, and it just stays there. So that's a good tip for if you guys are transferring water or hauling water. Okay, so now that I have the water reconnected, now I'm going to go ahead and turn on the generator just so I can make sure I don't have any leaks and everything's connected properly, and to make sure that the water is working. So our water pump right now, we run it off the generator, and so I'm going to go ahead and get that started up. Okay, so now that I have everything reconnected, generators on, I'm just going to use our outside hose to double check to make sure water is flowing through Terry, because if something is not flowing through Terry, then we have an issue. And then I will end up heading it back over to where the water tote is so that I can make sure that none of my hoses are leaking any water anywhere, because we definitely do not want to waste any water. Okay, so now that all the water is good, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the generator off. And now I need to get the empty water tote off the trailer. So the reason that I am moving the tote over here is because we are expecting a good amount of rain. So usually when it's raining, we try to save our solar power for nighttime, and we like to run off the generator during the day just to make sure we have enough power. So I'm basically using a tarp to create like a makeshift structure to protect the generator from the rain. Okay, so I have everything that needs to go to the storage container, washer machine box that's empty. I'm only keeping this just in case something goes wrong with the washing machine in the next 2 months so that I can return it, because I don't know, just in case. I usually don't keep boxes like that, but for some reason I'm just like, let's keep that one because that's a heavy piece of machinery and all that. This is our air fryer. We have two. We have a small one, and then we have this jumbo one. We're putting this one in storage because I don't really use it anymore. Now that we have the stove and the oven working, I rarely use this. And then if I do need to air fry anything, we do have a smaller one that's like half the size of this one that is still in the camper. This is little man's high chair. It's really cool because it converts to like a high chair height, and then it converts to like a regular chair height and has a tray and all that. He's big enough where he doesn't need it anymore, so it gives us more space inside of Terry. This over here, this is our RV box. We won't need this for another 3 weeks, I think. That's when we should hopefully be getting hooked up to power. We have to get a metal conduit piece, which Elijah found where it's at. He'll probably, now that the trailer's empty, he'll probably go pick it up because it's a 10-footer. And then this is the leftover stuff for the auger, and then that's just our little measuring stick. So this is just stuff that was outside that should not be outside anymore. Oh, I need to go and grab the shop vac so I can shove that in there. Okay, now that I have everything, I'm going to drive over to the side of the property, drop all this off, saying that like it's a quick easy thing, and then I'm going to drive off the property back around to the other side so that I can grab all the miscellaneous stuff that's up by the fence area that doesn't need to be outside in the rain either. So, be right back. Okay, so I'm back inside. I couldn't have cut that any closer. That's why it's good to pay attention to your weather that is in your area, because I already knew that by this time, it's about 9 o'clock now. We've been out there for like 4 hours between transferring water and getting everything cleared up. But that's why it's important to pay attention to your weather. Because I was able to get everything done, and when I told you it started drizzling, as soon as I walked from the car over to the trailer, and the car's at the front gate, it was starting to like downpour. And so I was able to get Terry swapped over to the generator. I did have to reinforce the tarp a little bit because the wind kicked up like crazy, and so the tarp was blowing a little bit, so I put some blocks, and I actually put a hammer on there, and then I found a piece of wood to go on there, so that should protect the generator. Other than that, I think little man's awake. I was able to get the clothes that I had hanging down, but basically, I forgot what to say. Oh, so Elijah and I, we need to figure out a clothesline situation because we have a washer, but we don't have a dryer, and it's fine because out here you can hang dry stuff and it's done in like no time. So, we need to set up a clothesline, so that is now on our list. The only thing is that there's a bunch of retractable ones where we could attach one side to Terry and attach the other side to like the post of the trailer and set it up like that to where it's temporary. But we're also looking into the one that is square. It's like a stick and then it's square and then it kind of spins. We were thinking about that, and then we were also thinking about doing the traditional T one where it's like the one stick and then one that way, and then it has like the two like little V's sticking out from it. So we were thinking about doing that as well. So I don't know, we're trying to decide, but also we're a little skeptical about putting a permanent one down because we don't know where we would want it to go. So yeah, if you guys have any, I guess, preferences as to which version of a clothesline that you like better, and because usually we don't have a lot of clothes, but sometimes we have a lot of clothes, just depending. But if you guys have any preferences about which clothesline worked best for you, but I will need to show you the washing machine. So I'm not going to end this video here. I am going to show you the washing machine probably tomorrow, because well, actually, maybe not tomorrow because it's supposed to rain today and tomorrow. So maybe the day after that, or maybe this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll have to show you the washing machine because I did 2 loads yesterday, and oh my gosh. We don't have to go to the laundromat anymore because it's not bad to go to the laundromat. It's just laundromats nowadays are so expensive. Like the fact that I do 2 loads and it cost me like $10 to do 2 loads. Like that's just crazy. And that's with washing and drying, and so with this way, we're just paying for water. And I think Elijah said that we pay like $2 for 300 and some gallons of water, so it kind of makes more sense. And the washer machine is eco-friendly, so it doesn't use a lot of power. So when I was running it, I think it was only pulling 120 watts when it was running. I had to double check, but I'm pretty sure it was 120 watts around that area when it was running. And it only needs to run between 6 and 15 minutes to clean the clothes, and it has a spinner on it. Okay, but I'll show it to you this weekend when I can actually wash clothes and hang them to dry outside. So, and then Elijah will set up a line for me, at least a temporary line. But yeah, so I will see you in a couple days, but when you're watching this video, it will just be a couple seconds. So, okay, a quick check-in on our rainy day. I went outside earlier to just go check and see how much gas we had in the generator. We have enough to run for the rest of the day until Elijah brings more gas. But you can see like all like the little mini puddles forming. What's nice is that I had went over that way to go and check the wood to make sure it was doing okay, which it is. But when I was over there, well, when I was walking over there, even though it has like all the like little puddles and it's like muddy kind of, it's not muddy. Like it's like, it just feels like you're walking on like regular dirt, and like the only, like it's not mud, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. It's not mud. And so I'm not sure if our property doesn't get muddy because we just cut the grass. And so all of like, you can see like anywhere there's not, all the spaces where you see water, that's just like plain dirt, but everywhere else that's all like green and like pieces of grass that we cut down. So I'm not sure if our property's not getting muddy right now because we didn't scrape it and we just cut the grass. You can see the lawnmower hanging out there. Elijah left that there. But yeah, it's weird. It's not like super like muddy type rain. Like even though it's like pouring, it's maybe because we didn't scrape. We're against scraping because once you scrape off a lot of your land, one, you can't get it back, but two, when it rains, it gets super muddy, and our cars are able to get perfect traction on this. Like if it's wet right now and I was driving like the trailer like weighed down with water and stuff, I could drive through this perfectly fine. And second is that it's windy down here. It gets very windy, and when you scrape, you're just allowing dirt to just lift and just go everywhere. So we will scrape when we get rock, because then it's not just going to be sitting there. But until then, I don't see us scraping any part of the land. Elijah's itching to get out there and cut all of that that's in the middle, but I'm like, might as well just leave it for now. But we do have a good portion around Terry trimmed down just like this, so we can walk all the way around Terry and it's all cut down like this, where it's great because if you're all the way over there at the gate entrance, you can literally see straight what's inside the road. So, you know, we won't have any little creepy crawlies sneaking up on us. But yeah, I just thought I would give you an update on our rainy day. We've had rain for the past 2 days. Today is the first day without it raining, but the sun is setting behind the mountains, and I thought I'd share how pretty it is. And last night was a kind of snow warning, I guess, for, it didn't get cold enough for it to snow down here, but this is our mountain range. And I didn't see it earlier when I was out, but like it has like, I guess, it has snow up on the tops of our mountain ranges up there. So, but yeah, but that view is so gorgeous. Okay, so this is our new washer machine. I'm hoping you can hear me because it's not too loud. So this is the washer side, this is the spinner side. It does not dry, but this pretty much gets all the water out of the clothes to the point where they dry outside in no time. And so this little thing up here opens and closes. This is one thing I do have to say, it is a manual, so you have to set your timer for however long you want it to wash. So right now I have a little bit less than 3 minutes left to wash. And then this middle section is for you to drain it, and you can push your wash cycle, so messing with that. But you can kind of see our clothes going in there right now. And then this over here controls the spin, and so you can spin and you can wash at the same time. So you just put that in there, and then it has this little thing. So you pack your clothes in there, and then you put this down to help keep it balanced. You just have to make sure your clothes are very, very like tight in there. And then you put that down, you put this down, and then you tell it how long you want it to spin. I found that 2 minutes pretty much gets all the clothes out, all the water out for us. And then it has a hose in the back that just drips it. And then what's nice is that it barely uses any energy because it only pulls power anytime it spins. And then also, I think it was only pulling like less than 100 watts anytime you use it. So it was pulling like barely anything. So maybe even less than 50 watts. But yeah, so that is our new washer machine. It lives inside of the closet behind me, but the drainage hose that it comes with is too short for me to drain it into the tub right behind it. So for now we're pulling it out to drain into the tub, and then it does have its own filter that's over there. And so Elijah's going to extend the hose so that we can just keep it in the closet and then just use it in there because it's small enough where I can access both sides in the closet. So this is how we'll be doing laundry. We have a temporary line set up outside, and then we also have we have plans to actually put up a permanent line, so we just have to wait for that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let this load finish. So I'm going to continue doing laundry. I think that's going to be the end of this video, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, bye.